Welcome to another edition of Your Impact Attack. That's right, it's your Impact Attack. This Impact Attack is brought to you by you, because it's yours. And we are here together once again. The VBC in the house. Who's the VBC? I'm the V in the VBC, the vet Jamie Williams. Hello. With me as always is the B in the VBC, my tag team partner Brandon, tagging through the magic of the internet. I almost want to jump off the apron after I found out how many Eddie Murphy movies he's seen. Brandon, what's going on?
Going well, pal. Whoop whoop. Yeah, I'm sorry. I disappointed you for not seeing some of the best of Eddie Murphy's work.
That's right. Well, that's okay. It's as we said on the Raw Watch On, it's never too late, unless it is too late. But let's not let it be too late. It's these people are right on time. The chat is here. They're ready. They're rocking. They're rolling. They want to go. Who do we have with us?
Let's see. We got Lab Rat. We got Liz. We got Javi Uchiha. And I'm sure we will get our fourth horseman showing up soon, shortly. Whoop whoop.
Yes, definitely. And look who's here, right on time. Dark Side Caster.
Whoop whoop.
Keep on rolling.
You know what time it is. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do now. You're going to sit and listen to the lovely sounds of the Impact Attack as you relax on this Monday night, evening, whatever this may be. We're going to talk about some news. We're going to talk about some TNA. We're going to talk about, just some pro wrestling in general. I guess the first thing we could talk about, just because, officially, Brandon, you've been doing watch alongs and stuff all week, and you've had plenty of time to back and forth about it, but you can make any sort of official comments that you want to make about Hulk Hogan, the passing of Hulk Hogan, the memories of Hulk Hogan. I know that Sid Justice doesn't give a damn about the memories of Hulk Hogan, but a lot of people do. So, if there's anything else you want to say, you don't have to, but if there's anything else you just did want to say, then now would be a good time, I think.
I mean, let's put all the personal stuff aside. Professionally, what the character of Hulk Hogan brought to the business and the heights that he elevated it to, we would not be doing this show if that did not happen, I don't think. Because somebody else have stepped up into that? Yes, but we'll never know.
Yeah, and the butterfly effect. How would that have changed things? The person that would have been. Yeah, it's true. It's really true. You could say that a lot, but I think it's it's the most true in this case. So, of course, everybody else has been talking about it. Everybody's got their own things to say. You probably at this point probably sick of it. Some people are probably sick of hearing about it. Like, we get it, but I mean, there aren't going to be that many more. Like, for what we do, there's not going to be many more monumental passings. It's going to be, this is the most monumental one. So we're kind of all living through it right now. Even Ric Flair, I don't think really has.
Ric Flair, Vince McMahon.
Yeah. And neither one of those guys really have the same impact because, Ric Flair was he just didn't quite have the global reach that Hulk Hogan had. And Vince McMahon was largely unknown for like most of the time that he was, in charge of stuff. I mean, growing up, like, just watching TV, I don't know Vince McMahon owns the WWF. I didn't know any of that. I just watched what was on TV. So, but who was front and center on TV was Hulk Hogan, right? So that's what I knew. And there's not going to be another, not going to be anything else like that. Not even any close. So it's not like there's no reason why people are gonna be talking about it and sharing about it, you know, for probably several more days or weeks to come, you know. And then people have already started joking about it. I think I probably even made a joke already on the Raw watch along, or I don't remember what it was, but I know I said something not distasteful, but just a reference, you know. Um, but yeah, Hulk Hogan, man. I'll say this because I already talked about it in the wreckage as well. But I one of the things that I did appreciate is a lot of times, especially in wrestling, but everywhere, like whether it's politics, whether it's entertainment, whether it's your people that you know in your daily life, there's a lot of people that say one thing and do another. Like they'll talk up a good game, but then they'll get busted for some scandal or something like that, right? You know, and their actions don't reflect the words that they're saying, right? But in a bad way. And I think that Hulk Hogan, his actions didn't reflect what he said, what we were never supposed to hear him say, because his actions were that of him trying to uphold that character and be that role model and everything like that. So even if he had those feelings, the real feelings in his heart, he didn't project that to the world. You know, he projected the positive image to the world throughout all that. So I appreciate that. Is you know, something that we can appreciate that doesn't normally happen. You know, normally you're hearing like, you know, how many times has some, you know, like a televangelist or whatever that's trying to get all your money and tell you that, you know, that you have to do this and you have to do that and holier than thou and all this, and then they get busted for something, you know. So it's like your actions didn't match your words. Your good words were not matched by your bad actions. But I think Hulk Hogan's bad words were matched by his good actions. He definitely, um, you know, if that's, again, like I said, if that's how he really felt, he did not practice what he preached, and that was a big positive thing for everybody across the world, I think. So, with that being said, um, let's just move on to some other news. Yeah, only 100%. We're hypocrites, Todd.
Yeah, this one.
Pretty good percentage. All right. Injury update. This is the gimmick injury report, but a shoot. I guess it might be gimmicked. Who knows? We're getting news for Fightful Select, so it's still a gimmick injury report. Who knows? But apparently, Switchblade Jay White is supposed to be getting better, but he's not. Apparently, while he was originally sidelined with a hand injury, now he's also dealing with a shoulder injury. And he's trying to decide if he needs to get surgery for this or what he's going to do. So that could explain the extended absence of Jay White, who was last seen early April. So, holding out hope that Jay White will be back soon because, damn it, AEW needs it. They need some entertaining people who know what they're doing. And Jay White is one of the very few in professional wrestling. He's a top 5 guy right now, and they need him back. What's this? Oh yes, this was mentioned during the Raw watch along. WWE reportedly cancels late night event with Tony Hinchcliffe over SummerSlam weekend. Yes, we were going to have a comedy event with Tony Hinchcliffe during when was it? August 2nd, which was night 1, 11 p.m. Eastern. Interesting. But apparently, Ticketmaster confirmed that this is canceled because when you try to go to this, it says, unfortunately, the event organizer has had to cancel your event. You don't need to do a thing. We'll issue a refund. Yes. And apparently it's because ticket sales were light. That's a polite way of saying it. Does anybody in this fucking world care about Tony Hinchcliffe at all? I'm just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as Javi Uchia says, bro isn't funny to begin with, right? Yeah, throw Tony Hinchcliffe in the long list of modern comedians that just aren't funny, as far as I've seen. Yeah, nopers, nope. Yeah.
Why did Mitch Hedberg have to die? Why?
Well, because of the depression and the drugs.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
you didn't mean literally. You were just saying like I wish he was here. Okay, I got it. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Bye, Tony. That's got to feel good, right? Like you show up on Raw, you say a few things, you say a few jokes, and then the response is nobody wants to buy a ticket to your event at a wrestling show. To
Yeah,
your side event at a wrestling extravaganza.
Exactly. What does that tell you? Not funny.
That shit should have been like they should have like printed that on the back of your SummerSlam ticket like a free pass. Like, oh yeah, if you bought a SummerSlam ticket, you also could just show up at Tony Hinchcliffe's comedy show. He needs bodies in the room. So yes. More contract news. Myron Reed. You may know Myron Reed from his appearances as Trey Miguel or whatever. Yes. So Myron Reed is apparently a free agent, even though he's been working with TNA. They have not offered him a deal, at least at this time. So he's actually just doing all this on handshakes, filling in for Trey, for the Rascals and everything. I'm just looking over this. Sorry, I'm like looking over this article here, but he still could be around for a few more shows. But yeah. So Myron Reed mostly connected with MLW that I've seen. I remember like he was with Jordan Oliver and maybe a third person that for some reason my brain is forgetting right now. But I've seen a fair bit of Myron Reed. He's good enough. I think TNA could use him if they did want to offer him a contract. What about you, Brandon? What do you think about Myron Reed? How has he been so far filling in for the Rascals?
In my opinion, I think they should keep him around as a third member. I mean, they're buddies. They know each other. Plus, him and Killer Kelly are together. So.
Is that the father?
Yes, it is. Yep. Actually, just pull up his Wikipedia. On September 2nd, 2024, Raquel Lorenko, who wrestles with Killer Kelly, announced she's expecting a child with Reed. They welcomed their first child, a daughter named Ruby, on November 6th, 2024.
I see. So she's Killer Kelly, but the Kelly should be with a Q instead of a K. That's what you're saying.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think so. And I also think that he would be a good heel to spin out too. Like when Trey Miguel comes back.
Yep, you could easily do a story right there of like him getting replaced, and then you find out like Myron Reed's doing something like dirty stuff to keep Trey out while taking the spot, and then Trey gets a spot back, and Myron goes off to be a singles heel.
Mm-hmm. And then you can that'll give Leon Slater a couple matches, you know, Like they could definitely do a program there. Yeah, I'm for it. That's my advice. TNA, you can take or leave my advice as you have been over the years, but I'm gonna give the thumbs up to Myron Reed. So do with that what you will. But they know better than I am since they've been working with them and everything. I was just going by TV. So speaking of guys that were with TNA at one point, um, I guess Chris Bay tweeted something recently. He said, 9 months ago today, I broke my neck. Am I the first wrestler to break their neck on a neck breaker? Either way, grateful to be alive. Love you all. So there's a little check in with the old finesser himself. Hopefully he's doing well. I'm sure he is. Um, it's crazy to think all the things you take for granted of just having to like just get back to having a normal daily life and not even thinking about, am I going to wrestle again? Get that thought out of your mind. Just think about like,
Am I gonna walk again?
yeah, am I going to walk again? And now that he's walking again, is like, you know, am I going to, but I don't know where, I don't really know where his progress is at. It's pretty good, but I don't know how difficult it is for him just to do simple things like showering. You have to think about that.
Yeah, just trying to raise your hands just to like lather your hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like these things we just do every day. Be grateful for those, and take care of yourselves. That's why I always tell everybody, be safe out there, take care of yourselves because, and it just sounds like a generic thing to say, but I'm really saying it because there's so many unhealthy people, unhealthy habits. And when I say take care of yourself, what I mean is I want you to address those things so that you can be around for the people that care about you. Also, when I say be safe out there, what I'm really saying is be aware of your surroundings because other people don't have your safety in mind. So whether you're walking by a construction site where they're going to drop something on you, or whether you're crossing the street, whether you're in a car or not, somebody else might not be looking for you, So it's not just about just being safe in terms of, taking care of yourself, but also be aware of the people around you that are fucking up at all times, you know? Um, and I think if we can all do that, then things will be a little bit easier in this crazy world.
One of my rules of thumb of driving is assume everyone else is an idiot who doesn't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And you have to. And even when you do that, it's still scary.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they are. I just have to make that assumption so I can.
No, they are. They are. They absolutely are. Every one of them. Every last one of them. Here is the final contract information here. We talk about Killer Kelly. And now, apparently, Fightful Select is reporting that she is going to be with TNA throughout the rest of the year. Even though her deal was originally going to expire in August, it's been extended because of her maternity leave. So now she's staying around through the end of 2025 and probably a little bit more, I guess.
And again, not a bad thing for her. Not at all. It's like, obviously, if your goal is to get to WWE, their partnership with TNA, and you're still going to stick around there for the rest of the year, use it as a platform, worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the first time I saw Killer Kelly, I think was NXT UK special or something like that. It was something to do with WWE.
Yeah, I think she originally was from NXT or NXT UK.
Yeah, so I didn't see her regularly there, but I know she made an appearance there. And that's the first time I remember seeing her. So, yes. Well, Todd, we definitely addressed the Cross of Scarlet thing on the Raw Watch Along portion. But that's pretty much all the news that I have. It's more than we normally have. I don't see a Chris Winland question anyway. So I guess we're free to go right into the Impact review. Time to pull
Yep.
this up. Let me just whip this out. Okay. And we are going to. This is a live Impact. Live. And you could definitely tell because it wouldn't be a live TNA show without audio problems and other things. But they did their best. And we started out with a Hulk Hogan graphic and some words from Tom and Matt and some audience shots, people chanting USA, I believe. And there you go. And then we go into the Slammiversary ketchup. It's not just any ketchup packet. It's a Slammiversary ketchup packet. Woohoo. For 5 minutes. Now, sometimes people say, yeah, just give me 5 minutes or whatever. And it's supposed to be a short length of time. If you ever actually sit and watch something for 5 minutes, it can be a very long time depending on what that is. And if it's a ketchup packet for Slammiversary, 5 minutes is an eternity. They spent 5 minutes of the show on this. So they were definitely scared to be live.
Dude, they could have had this done in 1 minute. And even that would have felt a little much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as I said, we're live and Santino comes out. He's focused on reclaiming the titles that TNA has lost. And then Masha came out. And here's what I didn't like about this, Brandon. Did you notice when Masha Slamovich came out, she was still smiling and posing. But she shouldn't have had anything to be happy about.
Yeah, it should have been her marching down to the ring being like, I want my rematch. I want JC's ass.
Yeah.
And demanding a stipulation with no interference. It's just her and JC.
Yeah, we didn't get that. We definitely got the pose. If you're coming out of street clothes, I assume you mean business, so I don't want to see you posing. You know, I feel like there should be more separation with entrances, you know? Like if you come out, even if you're scheduled to come out and you have music, but you're only coming out to be in the ring, don't do your full entrance. You know, let that be, this is match time, you know? I think it's important to do that. But anyway, yeah, she does want a rematch for next week. And Santino's like, okay. And then the system comes out and they do like a rah-rah speech. And then Moose actually gets on there and he actually, I thought he pretty much lit it up. You know, it was kind of, the general material was kind of generic, but he went for a while and got fired up about TNA, you know. So, and Zavish is glad you could join us. And yeah, but he does you know, fire, light the fire. And then he says he must whoop that trick to get TNA back on track, which is the signal for Trick to come out with First Class and yada, 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 yada. Then Order 4 comes out and then they just sort of like brush past Trick and First Class like, excuse me, fellas. We're actually the greatest faction in TNA history. I thought that was kind of odd. Trick was just as a stand there while these goofballs walk past in suits and stuff. Like, I guess that's TNA's way of, I don't know, punching back against the bully or something. Like, I don't really. Seems a little odd.
I could. Again, I'm trying to stretch and trying to make some kind of sense out of this. I could see them thinking like them doing that is establishing Ali trying to make himself the alpha while brushing past the champion, and the champion going, "Who the fuck is this guy?" and trying to brush past me. I don't know. I'm trying here. I'm trying.
If they do that later, which they're not really yet, as far as I've seen. But anyway, they get in there and they all start fighting with the system, and then security comes out, and then we go to break. And then after break, Santino calms the system down.
Sorry
And
for Lab Rat's comment.
yeah, basically. Um, so Santino has to calm down the system. And then Matt Cardona comes in and he's like, "Hey man, if you need some backup, I'm always ready." Even though it's like, well, they were just fighting out there. You weren't there. Like what? You didn't come and help, even though you're always ready. What was that? Like I didn't get that. Everything they does Cardona know he's being made to look dumb on these shows? Does he know that, or I don't know. I feel like he should know that. But anyway, Santino just does the obvious thing and makes the match with Cardona and Myers versus the hands for later. So
So, or is it safe to assume the system is now babyface?
I don't know if it's safe, but I guess we could try it. I don't know. It seems kind of weird to have. I mean, based on their entire premise, I don't even see how they could ever be a babyface team. But
We'll see where this goes.
we have no choice but to see where this goes. Well, where the show is going is the concierge is going to introduce the Elegance brand. This couldn't be over fast enough. But finally, the inspiration comes out, and they have a new partner that I found out about. Apparently, this happened on the wreckage. I found out that their partner is Mara Sade.
Formerly known as Jakara Jackson.
That's right.
Which she was unrecognizable. Like, wait, she seems familiar. Who is that? Oh, that's who that is. Okay, cool.
Oh, you know that girl was here 3 weeks ago.
Well, she did. To be fair, she did change up her look quite a bit.
Maybe it doesn't seem like that to me because I was just watching NXT the whole time. So I don't know. I guess she's looks a little different. But nonetheless, they had a match, and the inspiration hits the idolizer on Heather, and they make a big deal out of that. Like, oh my God, the inspiration have just pinned the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Like, okay. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this? This six woman tag team match?
I thought it was all right. I think it went a little bit long. We could have gotten a better match if we, cut a few minutes out.
Well, what about, speaking of cutting things out, the gimmick injury report is next. And apparently Gia is out with a head injury. So, and I didn't notice this, but no, actually I did. During the match, I was like, ooh, that's probably going to suck. But apparently it did suck really bad because Moose got a hip injury when he landed on the outside on one of those things that he did in that match with Leon Slater. So he's going to be day to day. He's here now, but only doing a promo. And Casey Navarro, remember that knee injury that he got cleared? Well, he re-aggravated it in that ladder match. Go figure. And he's going to be day to day too.
I'm wondering where's the injury report on AJ Francis's ball sack.
I don't know. That's what everybody was talking about, was like him hitting his balls on that ladder. I was just looking at his legs because his legs just crumpled and then the ladder folded over on him. I assumed he would have broken both of them. Like, I've seen people destroy their knees from doing much less than that. So I don't know how he made it out, but I guess his testicles are okay.
I did catch a Twitter post where somebody called that out, and he said, "My dick protected my balls."
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, then I feel sorry for his dick, whatever it is. But the important thing is that he's up and walking. So, well, the replacement for Gia is Gabby, whatever her name is, Spisa, Gabby Spisa. Is that it? Am I close?
Speezy something.
Something. And she's asked Santana for his thoughts, and he just rudely gets up and leaves. And then she's like, "All right, fine. I'll ask Indy Hartwell about her thoughts." And Indy Hartwell tries to offer her thoughts, but then Danny Luna just steps in, and she's like, "Hey, whatever." I wasn't listening. And then Victoria Crawford came in, and she offered. No one asked for her thoughts, but she offered her mentorship. She's a mentor, Brandon, so she's gonna mentor these ladies. And they're like, what? She's like, and Danny Luna's like, well, I don't know if I need a mentor, but if you want to have a match, we could have a match. And then Victoria's like, okay, I'll go get Santino and we'll get this done. And then after that, she, both Danny and Indy are confused about whether they need a mentor or not.
Now I'm liking this whole thing of Alicia Fox trying to, or I should say, sorry, Victoria Crawford trying to play up herself as like this veteran mentor because of how long she's been in the business, whereas, and they're putting her in there with people who are actually better than she is, and that's kind of the rib. Even though they've been in the business a lot shorter than she has.
Well, here's some people that have been. Well, here's one person that's been in the business for a long time, Eric Young.
Who finally came out as Super Eric about a month ago.
Yeah, we just shocking revelations left and right. So he cuts this promo talking about outsiders, and we need to defend this place from outsiders, and we need to cleanse TNA. So it has some definite connotations on the things that he's saying. But you know, it's Eric Young, so what are we really going to get at this point?
Yeah, we're going to take these people out and then get our asses completely handed to us and then fall apart.
Yeah, well, you got backup like the Northern Armory. I mean, you used to have like Joe Doring and
Khan?
Yeah. Hey, remember Khan? You guys remember Big Khan?
Yeah, where's that dude been?
Who could forget dear Rat Boy? Anyway. Yeah, now these guys, you now he's got backup that you would have to put both of them together to make a cruiserweight. You know, like it's just not the same. So Leon Slater's in the ring saying a bunch of stuff. The Hardys come out. They say a bunch of stuff. Then Bert comes out. He says a bunch of stuff. But he basically is saying that now we got all the real TNA champions here, and we have to hold the line against the outsiders. He left out the part about cleansing, but, you know, similar sentiment. You know, we have to defend TNA since we're the only TNA champions left. I guess the Elegance brand doesn't count.
Well, to be fair, including them in this would have kind of killed the mood a little bit.
Oh, definitely. So next is Mance Warner versus Jake Something. No DQ. Thoughts? Just consider me Gabby Laspisa. Your thoughts on this match?
It was what it was, Gabby. I mean, at least, Jake went over. Hopefully they do something with him here, but yeah, it was what it was, pal.
Yes, we got to see the tack suplex, and we also got to see a rare Jake something win over Mance Warner, who was brought in and pushed.
Right. I feel like they got something. They could do something with Mance. I mean, him and Steph, I think that's a good package, and you could push that as an act, like a good undercard, mid card act. It's
Which they were.
Yeah, so I don't know why they're doing. Yeah, I don't know why they seem to stop from that.
Well, whatever. Jake something. Your winner. Full attacks. Which sucks for him because he doesn't wear anything. He's just a pair of trunks, so he got all those tacks in his arm from that suplex.
I mean, it's something. It's something.
Something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything. But that's all right. There he is. Fatal Influence. Reptilian Britt Baker cuts this whole promo on the stage and somehow doesn't get interrupted. It's amazing. You would think that, especially after Burt Macklin came out and got everybody fired up about defending TNA, and Santino came out saying we got to get our titles back and all this, and nobody came out, and they just let this woman yap for like several minutes straight.
Especially since we saw Masha earlier and we know she's in the building. Where was she during this?
She's satisfied with her rematch next week. Which I get it, I'm not going to dirty my hands until I get paid. But I would have felt like somebody would have came out and at least had a rebuttal or some such thing. Something to spin into another program after whatever happens with Masha, like, just thought
like maybe Xia Li, as she called Lei Ying Li.
Yes, I had that written down too. She definitely remembers. I mean, old habits die hard,
And to be fair, she also said that name after Xia Brookside. So again, easy slip. You can't jump on her for it, but it was still funny.
It's funny. This isn't funny. It's the Great Hands versus the Major Brothers. I mean, eh. Sorry that my review is just eh.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like if you're gonna try to establish Order 4 in the Great Hands, they kind of need a win over a credible team. It's just, was this the way to do it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, if you're gonna have the Hands win, this is the only way to do it, because it had nothing to do with them really. See, what happened was Tasha Steelz came up and she got all like involved and everything, and then Alicia peeled her off, and then they started going at it. And while this was confusion and the schmoz was going on and the referee was distracted, some giant Secret Service member, well, he's not that giant, but they tried to make it sound like he was. He's just taller than all these short people. And he came in and he choke bombed Cardona, and they actually beat Matt Cardona here.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I totally blanked out and forgot that happened. But yeah, that actually does make everything make sense then. So you're trying to establish a new character, a new bodyguard for the group. Okay, this is good stuff. And plus, our boy Todd, he knows this guy. He's met him before. So he can vouch for him. Yeet.
So you met a guy one time, Todd, and you now think that he's going to be the next TNA superstar? You better explain yourself. I think Liz meant to type more before she hit enter. So anyways, your main event is coming up. Frankie Kazarian is on commentary, but before he can do any commentary for this match, he is ejected.
Yeah, by both members of commentary, because they're like, "Fuck you for fucking over TNA when Henry had the match won."
Yep. And then your main event is I guess they build this as a first ever meeting between Mike Santana and Joe Hendry. First ever singles meeting.
I thought it was a decent match, and I think the right guy went over, and the finish was done right.
So you're a fan of when they do like the pin drill, and somebody just wins?
In certain circumstances, I think this was. I don't know. It depends on where they're going with Hendry and Santana. Because if Santana ends up getting the belt back, I could see Hendry like challenging him for it, and then that's when you get a definitive spin the block 1, 2, 3.
Okay, silence as I was thinking about it. Well, I mean, I guess so. I guess at this point, I just not only do I have no interest, but I have no faith either. I don't think anything is going to happen that's going to do right by anybody. So, there you go. And Liz said JC needs to go over a wall and disappear. But she does. Which it's like, I'm conflicted because I really don't want to watch JC Jane ever. But then like I think, but that means that she's like, but she's a heel, so it's like that's how I'm supposed to feel. So I don't know. But didn't you think I would ask this as we wrap up a like a record setting fast Impact Attack. Um didn't you think that I don't know, for all of the fact that it's like, okay, well, this is Mike Santana and Joe Hendry. This is your two top guys. They're going at it. There's supposedly a first time meeting. Then the match is just over, and then the show's just over. Like, didn't it feel like a little flat about all this stuff?
Yeah, like where was Trick or and First Class to lay them out and stand tall and get heat to close out the show.
Or even if you didn't do that, I just felt like it was a small, like whatever. It just didn't seem like it was as, momentous of an occasion as it was supposed to be. It's not a bad main event for TV, considering their push and their current landscape. And, they treat it like it was just a fucking 6-man tag or whatever. Like it just.
Yeah, I think I get it. Yeah, it didn't get the hype and promotion it should have got and build.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Which
TNA
I agree
Live.
with.
TNA Live. It's always something. But that's it. I mean, we're live. We make it happen every week. So, it can be done. So, anyways, I guess that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm ready to get on out of here and let you guys rejoin the watch along over on Monday Night Raw. So let's just get right to it. Brandon, where could the people find you besides right after this on the Raw watch along?
Let's see. You can catch me on Twitter, or as the kids call it these days, the X at LG Brandon Whoop. I am also on Twitch at twitch.tv/LG Brandon Whoop Whoop, which will probably be heading over to as soon as we're done watching Raw. And then tomorrow night we got the NXT Late Start watch along as soon as the A show is over. Following that, we're going to HMG After Dark for like the first 2 episodes of Unreal, and Hey, how that goes, I don't know. We might go into some Eddie Murphy after that. Who knows where the night takes us on that one, pal? And then Wednesday, we got the AEW Dynamite Watch Long and Belt Count. Thursday, the Impact Watch Along and Belt Count. Friday, SmackDown Watch Along and Belt Count. And then Saturday, Sunday, SummerSlam with post shows on both nights. Whoop, whoop. And of course, Monday, repeating it once again.
All right. So that will be the loop of the week. And as for me, you can find me at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can find me every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez, where we talk about the TNA portion of this crossover. You can find me every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for Direct Kids, where we talk about the AEW portion of this crossover. Oh, wait, there is no AEW portion. Not anymore. Not for a long time. And you could definitely check out Rip Rogers every Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Concrete for Wrestling with Rip Rogers. They had good old Kazarni, Sin Bodhi was on this past Friday. So my good buddy Kazarni, he can sure put himself over, let me tell you. He's the best at putting himself over in ways that you have to think about it later. Like, oh my God, he spent the whole time putting himself over. And then you've got the Stevie Richards show every Friday, also with new episodes, even though it was a little bit late this week, but you did get a bonus Hulk Hogan episode as well as the normal weekly episode. So, you got a supersize Stevie this Friday. And of course you got Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore. Special controversial guest, Patrick Clark, formerly known as the Velveteen Dream. So if you want to hear him explain a lot of things about where he's at, where he is, where he's been, and where he's going, then that's a perfect episode for you. So live in the studio with Timmy there. These guys go back all the way to MCW, which, as I realize, MCW puts out a lot of quality dudes.
Get me Leo Rush, pal.
Yeah, fucking Leo Rush, like Timmy Baltimore. Others that I'm forgetting. I'm sure they're there. I just can't remember right now. But yes. So check out all those things. Nobody has any time for Evolve either, but watch Cappuccino Jones.
Apparently, it sounds like isn't he in the finals for the WWID Championship at this weekend at the GCW show?
Sure is. The pot is hot.
And hopefully he throws it in his opponent's face. Yeet, yeet.
Yeah, the eventual heel turn is all going to be coffee in the face roll-ups. It's going to be great. So with that being said, thank you everybody for watching. Please enjoy the rest of the Raw watch along. And for Brandon, I'm the vet, and I don't have a sign-off line.